I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. A former Trump campaign advisor who threatened to defy the special counsel in the Russia probe appears to change his tune. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave Sam Nunberg says he'll end up cooperating after a bizarre string of TV appearances that had one cable news host suggesting he was drunk. Nunberg dared Robert Mueller to arrest him, telling CNN he would not appear before a grand jury.
Mueller's not going to send me to prison for this. This is ridiculous. Look at this.
Nunberg upset the special counsel's office asked him for records of conversations with several White House officials.
Who am I? Am I some crook? Once again, Trump fired me within 6 weeks of the campaign.
A source close to the Trump campaign told Fox News that Nunberg was fired twice for good reason. Dave.
Rachel, moments ago, President Trump tweeted the fake news narrative is there's chaos in the White House. Wrong. People come and go. There's no chaos, only great energy. Florida State Senate's approved new gun laws, including raising the minimum age to buy rifles to 21.
Adding a 3-day waiting period for long gun purchases as well. Increasing funding for school safety measures like armed officers at schools. Creating a school marshals program for teachers to have guns in the classroom if their school districts want to.
Fox's Phil Keating in Parkland nearly 3 weeks after the massacre there. Oregon's governor signed a new law prohibiting domestic abusers from buying or owning guns. People under restraining orders also banned. A South Korean delegation back from a 2-day trip across the border says North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will meet with South Korea's president next month and may halt nuclear and missile tests.
According to a South Korean national security director, the North says it's ready to have heart-to-heart talks with the United States on issues regarding the North's potential denuclearization and normalization of relations with Washington. Over the weekend, President Trump once again said there'd be no talks with the North unless getting rid of Pyongyang's nukes was on the table.
Fox's Lillian Wu. Fox News, fair and balanced.
When hiring, you don't have time to waste. You need to get to a short list of qualified candidates fast. That's why you need Indeed.com. Daryl is hired with Indeed.
Using the site saves me a lot of time. It makes my job so much easier.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive dashboard. Your time is precious. Let Indeed help you get to your short list of qualified candidates. Post a job at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
I wasn't so sure about getting on eHarmony, but my brother said, hey, I met my wife on eHarmony. Just give it a shot.
I was nervous about joining eHarmony too, at first.
eHarmony has found a way to bring people together who are right for each other and ready to find something real.
They got us talking, and then we realized we were meant for each other.
When I'm with her, I'm happy.
Aw.
For a limited time, get a free month included when you buy a 3-month plan. Use code READY. eHarmony.com. Use code READY.
They're voting in Texas today, the first primaries in the nation in 2018.
Well, I'm a small business owner, and I think that we need to quit paying people not to work.
And while he may be voting Republican, many more Democrats are energized this election year.
Texas voters will be the first to cast ballots in the 2018 midterms. The state has the first primary of the 2018 cycle. For Democrats, it's a chance to gauge enthusiasm after the party made gains in state houses in recent months. In early voting last week, Democratic turnout in Texas nearly doubled from the midterms 4 years ago. Part of the reason more Democrats are running for office. For the first time in 2 decades, Democrats are fielding candidates in every congressional district in Texas. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Voters in West Virginia have something new to consider this November. An abortion issue will be on the ballot.
The resolution overwhelmingly approved in West Virginia's House Monday says nothing in the state's constitution secures or protects a right to abortion or requires the funding of an abortion. The state Senate passed the measure a month ago. Voters will have their say in a November referendum. Supporters argue they're only going after public funding for Medicaid abortions and point out that the procedure would remain legal under federal law. Critics worry the legislature will not make exceptions for abortions in cases of rape, incest, or to save the life of the mother. Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
Kids in West Virginia have yet another day off from school. It's the 9th straight time classes have been canceled. They haven't been in school since February 21st because their teachers remain on strike. State lawmakers trying to work out a compromise to increase their pay. Drama on a United Express flight from San Francisco to Boise yesterday. A woman who shouted she wanted off the plane, tried to open an exit door, and then chanted, "I am God. I am God." In videos posted online, other passengers helped restrain her. She was taken into custody when they landed. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News Radio.
Here is your ESPN 93.5 3-day forecast from the National Weather Service, brought to you by Blossom Basket Floors. From simple to simply magnificent with 2 locations, Village at the Crossing, Champaign, Cunningham, and Urbana. Call 367-ROSE or blossombasket.com. I'm so pumped to spring ahead Saturday night.
Yeah.
But it's going to be dark at 6 a.m. again. And It's okay. I'll take it because it'll be light at 7.
True.
Here we go with your weather, Diane Ducey.
A beautiful morning, Stevie J, but afternoon clouds and even a 40% chance of some precipitation. There has been some frost with our temperature at 33 now, so there are slick spots that folks are warning, especially the rural areas that haven't been well traveled. Just be aware. Today's high 45, 28 our low tonight. Some clouds tomorrow and a high 35, low 21. By Thursday, partly cloudy with a high 37, low 21. But from then on, it looks like we're at least at 42 and really on up into the 50s for our highs.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right now, 33 on ESPN 93.5.
Okay, here we go. 7:06. Off we go. North Korea wants to talk. Okay, that's good. They said they won't nuke South Korea, and they want talks with the United States. Okay, we were here in the 90s when Bill Clinton said we made a good deal. They gave him billions to stop, and of course, they gave him billions. They took the money, and they didn't stop. So how do you do that where you trust but verify kind of stuff? Because nuclear weapons in the hands of North Korea is bad. They're an insecure thing, but they're out of money, so now they're willing to talk. We'll see how it unfolds. We'll touch on that here as we go. Mark Smith leaving the University of Illinois. I like to think of myself as bullish on Illinois and always love my team and am all pumped. I'm all orange. I'm all blue, but this is bad. It's bad. If it would have been John Gross's guy, okay. But it wasn't. Remember the fanfare, Mr. Basketball?
Yeah.
Ooh. And here's why it's bad. Now, I understand he wasn't up to the expectations, didn't feel comfortable, whatever it was. The guy has talent. Duke wanted him. Kentucky wanted him. Ohio State wanted him. Michigan State wanted him. We got him. Where it's worse is in the living room. When the assistant coach says, they couldn't even keep Mr. Basketball.
Right.
Something's going on over there. I don't know, Mom. You might want, I don't think he yells at his guys, man. You see him on TV? He screams at you, man. I don't know.
Right. I just don't fit the system is the quote in this headline from Edwardsville paper, The Telegraph.
Well, okay. But you know what? Brad Underwood knows how to coach, and I really like the guy. But I told him the first time I met him kind of off the cuff, the guys aren't going to like you yelling at him like that. I don't know. Are we too soft?
Right.
Are the kids, keep in mind, all these kids have been superstars since 4th grade. And they've been kind of coddled along because they've had this skill. Because to get to come to Illinois, you're really good at basketball. I mean, you're special to get a play at this level.
Sure.
So nobody's ever yelled at you like that. In high school, they didn't because you were the man carrying the water.
Right.
Nobody's touching this guy, and he's got people around, man. He's got an entourage. And you know how many people were in Mark Smith's ear? I don't even know that. I'm just throwing that out there. That's what happens to really good players. He's holding you back, man. You got to think about something. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
Feel free to text in on and I want to say a few more things about that. I'm not a reporter. I'm just a guy espousing his thoughts every morning. So I'll talk a little more about Mark Smith. It's a hit, folks. I'm sorry. It is a hit, perceptually. It's a hit because what recruiters are going to say about Brad Underwood. It's a hit that we couldn't hold on to the biggest recruit that we've had here in a long time that Brad got. And I think he's got great. I think Mark Smith can be a really good player. He's got the natural ability to get to the basket. I don't know where he'll go. He doesn't have any restrictions. He could land and sit out his year, and we'll see him in 2 years. He could turn into a heck of a player. I don't know. Maybe he won't. Bottom line is it's not good. You can text in 359-2255, 359-2255. It's Chris Nywame. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Nice to have you back. He is a Republican strategist contributor for The Hill, thehill.com. What's DACA stand for? What is that again? Oh, that's right, because we quit. What the heck? I mean, this whole March 5th deadline because of a judge. I don't understand this, Chris. What the heck happened here? We were all hot and heavy. We're going to figure this out, and now it'll never get done unless there's a deadline.
That's right, and hopefully it gets done at all because, these deadlines continue to not mean anything to Congress. Congress continues to not do its job. I think the president deserves credit for essentially saying, I'm going to give you this time to work through this deal and delay closing this unconstitutional, illegal program that was created by the former president. And it just looks like Congress just refuses to step up to the plate and do its job.
How can a judge do that? I don't understand. I need to read my Constitution. I mean, a guy sitting on a bench in Butte, Montana can stop the process like this, or wherever it was?
It's interesting how powerful a judge can be and the judicial branch can be, and it's concerning. But the opportunity lies with Congress to simply rewrite the law and have it make sense. I mean, there's many different components of it that need to be fixed, from border security and trying to prevent the problem on the front end, because everyone agrees, this is this big problem, but they don't want to look at how it was created. And I think it's really unfortunate that Democrats, especially in the Senate, have essentially said, we don't want to do anything about the border wall, and it's the president's fault for not giving us what we want in relation to this program. And look, we all sympathize with someone that has no idea that they came here in that manner. But the fact is, we're still a nation of laws. And I think it really creates a problem with the rule of law when we don't actually take anything in this regard. So Congress has got to do something. There's probably not going to be another court ruling until the fall. So all these folks are in limbo.
Unbelievable. Should or would the president say, okay, DACA for $25 billion in the wall and call it a day, or would he stick by the other two issues?
I think the president wants. There needs to be some give and take, and I think that the Democrats need to figure that out. But essentially, looking at ending chain migration, having some rules relating to obviously the border wall, border security, but also there have been proposals that have been actually pretty interesting to say, look, we'll allow these folks a path to citizenship, but they're going to count against future immigration. So in other words, they're actually going to be kicking other people out of line, and it's just one of those things where Democrats are they're sensitive to it, and I think they really are just trying to fight through the election. They're trying to kind of play politics with the rule of law, and I think most voters, citizens, taxpayers are agitated that they can't get something through so we can kind of get a resolution of these questions and not having these dramatic court cases at the 25th hour.
Okay, so without a deadline, don't think it's going to happen, right? I mean, there's no pressure on anybody to do anything. And so what are the DACA people? Are they just kind of limbo? Is that how that's phrased now?
Yeah, they're in total limbo. I mean, it is concerning. I mean, they don't really know what their future holds, but their deportations have been delayed, and I think it's a good opportunity for Congress to look at proposals so that when this comes back around, they could do something. But I don't think there's any advantage to anyone trying something before the elections. I think it's going to be posturing. But to the president's credit, he's tried to sit people down. He's been doing this on school safety. He's been doing this on immigration and saying, get together, do your job. And it's, partisanship aside, it's ridiculous that any member of Congress that makes a little bit under $200,000 a year and has a staff of 10 to 20 can't get a job done as simple as write a policy for the American people. So it's a frustrating time, I think, for voters.
Well, we were, I thought, getting close to stuff, and then all of a sudden the judge thing, and then all of a sudden there's no deadline, and then here we go again. I don't know, pretty frustrating. Chris, you must just love working in and around Washington, D.C.
Well, there's no shortage of stuff to do, but it's, for stakeholders that are involved in this, and for people that are working in Congress, it's difficult, especially with these budget fights.
Yeah.
Is every 2 or 3 months policy is put down the road, and so it's really hard I think that's why the president's so frustrated. He comes from private business where you get things done, and you have to have results, and in Congress, failure seems to be something that people need to put on their resume for not getting things done.
Last question. This morning, North Korea says we won't nuke South Korea, but we want to talk to the U.S. Good idea?
I don't think there's any downside with talking to North Korea, and just having that communication, but it could be a short conversation if they're not willing to turn in a different direction and stop developing nuclear weapons, stop starving their people of freedom and press. And it's I've been to Iraq and the Middle East. I've been to some bad places, but I've heard horror stories of what it's like to live inside the walls of North Korea. But I think we could talk to them and just kind of take it from there.
Well, here's what happens. You give me billions, I stop, wink, wink. We did this in the 90s with Bill Clinton, right? I mean, Trump's not going to go for that stuff.
I don't see him doing it. I mean, that's essentially what the whole thesis of the Iran deal was. It didn't work. And, we could say we're slowing down their bad behavior. I mean, we need to stop their bad behavior, but we need to do it in a way that keeps the region safe and minimizes the impact on our military. And it's a tough business, but I think if we can, I think the president's tone has been effective, and it's a tough situation to be in geopolitically. Yeah. But I don't think the president will go for that either. I think you're right.
Chris, always a pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Chris Nightwame, Republican strategist, contributor to The Hill, thehill.com. Yeah, I talked to North Korea. Well, they're going to want money. They're going to say they're going to do something, and then we won't know. We did this before. Mm-hmm. So we know how that works. I just don't know what makes this different, except that they're desperate and they need money.
Well, I feel like we've got some momentum coming out of the Olympics. That was good PR all around on the Korea side, right?
Wonder what happened to those athletes in North Korea.
Or the cheerleaders.
The cheerleaders, by the way, were stuff I read about the cheerleaders. Yeah.
Okay.
They were kind of at the pleasure of the political leaders. That's what they do. They hang around and they're kind of on the call and they get nice coats and they get to eat.
They get to eat.
And they probably have a nice place to sleep at night and warm and all these. It's just North Korea. Yeesh.
Makes me glad to be an American.
You betcha. Here we go with your sports headlines.
All right, the Mark Smith deal about him leaving and Mr. Basketball in 2017. And as you mentioned, Stevie, this is Coach Underwood's guy. There was a few texts come in.
I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Because I'm not the most positive guy on Illinois, but I'm close. I really think of my team as the team, my team, Illinois, ILLINI, I mean, orange and blue. This is bad. I cannot say it any other way. And am I wrong? 359-2255.
Well, and most of the comments coming in are regarding the maybe yelling at him was too much or things like that. And again, I referenced some headlines saying it just was not a good fit. So
that's AKA I don't like being yelled at that much.
So too.
But are these kids too soft?
Right.
I mean, but again, it's so different from how you and I were raised, where we had to have a little thicker skin because people did get mad at us, and we couldn't. These kids,
the Bobby Knight style
they didn't have
yelling at you.
They didn't have that. Nobody's yelled at them,
right?
And I don't know. It's a tricky thing here because I don't know if Mark Smith's the only guy that's leaving either. So stand by. There could be more news this week.
No, don't say that.
Sorry.
The AP poll has Virginia unanimous at number 1, then Villanova, Xavier. Michigan State has bumped up to number 4, then Duke. Michigan at number 7 after winning 4 games in 4 days. And the Wolverines taking the Big Ten tournament title for the second time in a row. And Purdue jumped down to number 10. Ohio State is at 17 at this point. Pacers over Milwaukee 92-89. Boston over the Bulls 105-89. Blackhawks host Colorado's Avalanche tonight in hockey. On the upside, Illinois football got a $1 million donation. That 107,000 square foot facility is starting to take shape as far as the donations coming in. This is the Illinois Football Performance Center, and an anonymous donation to our AD Josh Whitman yesterday.
Here's your ESPN 93.5 3-day forecast from the National Weather Service.
Starting out with sunshine, but then more clouds and a 40% chance of showers later. High 45, 28-hour low tonight. Only up to 35 tomorrow, down to 21 with more clouds, but make way for partly cloudy conditions by Thursday. High 37, low 21. We're currently at 33 on ESPN 93.5.
Text in if you'd like about Mark Smith, 359-2255, what you think of that. Fox Business Minute brought to you by Rob Meyer over at Provident Financial Group in Champaign, where partnerships are built on trust. Find Rob at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com. A few other thoughts about the loss of Mark Smith from this basketball team. Just from one man's opinion. Stand by. We'll do that next. Ask the Vet coming up. Dr. Todd Likens in 30 minutes. ESPN 93.5.
From the Fox Business Network, United Airlines president has decided to press the pause button on his plan to replace performance-based bonuses with a lottery system after employees expressed outrage. The airline was planning to scrap a program that rewards workers up to $375 for each quarter. Target's business picked up in the recent quarter, including the holiday season. Its sales improved. Online sales actually increased 29%. Brian Cornell, Target's chairman, says our progress in 2017 gives us confidence we were making the right long-term investments. However, investors were hoping for even stronger numbers from Target. Apple is working on a new version of the MacBook Air. Analysts at KGI Securities say it'll cost less and will be released as early as June. The Dow was up 336 points yesterday. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
Friends, are you taking Viagra for ED? Well, you could be paying too much. Now you can take Sildenafil, the active ingredient in Viagra, for just $2 per tablet. $2 for a 20-milligram tablet, saving $40 per dose. Marley Drug is a North Carolina pharmacy delivering Sildenafil to your doorstep. Go to MarleyGenerics.com. That's Marley, MarleyGenerics.com. Or call 1-800-452-1760. That's 1-800-452-1760.
When water rushes in, keep the damage out by calling the cleanup team that's faster to any other size disaster. Serve Pro at 217-355-0077. That's where you'll find the specialist with the experience, equipment, and training to help make sure your property is dry the first time. So when water damage strikes your home or business, strike back by calling the cleanup team the insurance industry has trusted for more than 40 years. 217-355-0077. On the web at Serve Pro of Champaign. Like it never even happened. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. As independent financial advisors, we can help ensure you're following a strategy that makes sense, no matter what the market is doing. Take control of your financial life with a complimentary consultation. We will help create a plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 3017 Village Office Place in Champaign, or call 217-366-3456, or find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Jeremy Warner's at football. Brett Barron's, Channel 3. We'll be in this morning 9 to 11 with Austin Birkeland.
Sounds good.
Welcome Channel 3 sports anchor Brett Barron's later this morning. Looking forward to having Brett in here as a fine young man and knows sports, so we're looking forward to that. Okay, Mark Smith leaving the University of Illinois, 359-2255, 359-2255. What do we have on the board here?
217 texter, Smith was weak and couldn't handle being coached. Good riddance.
Okay.
Jim says, 100% agree with you, Stevie. Obviously, he didn't want to put in the effort. Hate it because sometimes you have to cut a guy. It stinks. It hurts. But you have to cut the fat.
Okay.
Tim says, 100% too soft.
Okay.
These coaches don't yell to make themselves better. They do it to make the kids better.
Uh-huh. No, I think all of that's right. And I'm just saying it's bad because it's like, oh my gosh, we finally got a guy like Mark Smith and he stays a year and leaves. What happened? The thing is, okay, maybe Mark Smith never turns out to be the ball player we thought. That could be. He's an athlete. He's a good pitcher. But if he goes to, say, Missouri, which makes sense because he's down there, and Missouri wanted him. So if he goes to Missouri and turns into this fantastic player, it's going to really hurt. If he goes to Missouri and then it didn't really work out, Brad Underwood's right. It didn't cut it, wasn't good enough. Maybe he didn't want to. I don't know, but I'm just saying that the recruiting now says, whoa, what happened? Mom, I don't know if you want... I heard some really bad things that they're doing to those kids. I mean, man, he gets in their ear and screams at them, and he is brutal. We don't do that at our university, but, if you want to go there, Brad's a good coach, but, man, it's tough. He really screams at you. I don't know if they lost Mr. Basketball, I'm telling you, that's when you get the stuff they say in recruiting, half it's not true anyway. This one is. What happened? What the heck happened? Now, when you say, oh, these kids are soft, they're weak, maybe, but they're not trying out for the Navy SEAL either. It's a basketball program, and you do want to keep the talented ones. I think Mark Smith is talented. And time will tell. If he turns out to be, okay, you're right. If he turns out to be Mr. Basketball in whatever universe, that's going to hurt me.
Watch him go to Iowa State, and him and the THT become the dream team, says Tim.
No, because they don't get along. Remember that? We were going to get THT.
Okay.
And then apparently, no, it was Io. It wasn't Mark Smith. It was Io.
Right.
They didn't like, yeah.
And then Cliff says Mark Smith should play for Lovie Smith. That way he'll never get yelled at.
Oh, that's just really good. Okay? That is rich. Thank you. That's just swim in sarcasm.
He did favor baseball, but I don't think football.
I think he had an arm issue. That's why he went to basketball.
I see.
To have that athleticism.
6'4", 225 pounds.
Mark Smith, to my eye as a fan, and I used to cover sports, but nothing like Jeremy or anybody else that's really good at it. To my eye, he had some special qualities. It was getting to kind of winding him up to get to that level of energy that you needed to get to the basket. But he's got the spring, he's got the hops, he's got the athleticism. Does he have the motor? I think as you can question whether he has certainly to play with Brad Underwood. You got to go crazy all out all the time. One thing this coach won't tolerate is lack of effort at his level. You think you're trying, you better rank it up about 10 spots, and then you're trying.
Well, and I'm trying to think of the special players, as you referenced, that have come through the Illini system. The Darren Williams, the D. Brown. I mean, they weren't outstanding freshmen.
No,
were
they
I mean,
they
it
grew.
takes a while.
Were they top recruits at the time? You know, D. Brown was. I mean, certainly. And Darren Williams was highly regarded from Texas, but, you know, Bill's self-staff, I think, was responsible for a bunch of those guys. And Bruce Weber told me personally that somehow Darren Williams liked him and he wasn't sure why. But they clicked really, really well.
Okay.
And that thing turned into what it was in 2005, but we just haven't been able to. Eric Gordon and that mishap with that recruiting and the whole Eric Gordon thing obviously hurt us because that was a guy we thought, and Indiana cheated to get him and paid, and of course all of that stuff happened over at Indiana. They paid for that. But, you know, we've just kind of been downhill, kind of sideways, and now we're at a point to where, you know, the rumors of LeRon Black and the fact that, he's engaged, going to get married, I think he's going to have a degree. So why would LeRon Black stay if you could have an agent say, we're going to go to Europe and make a bunch of money? You got to consider it because he had a wonderful year. If for LeRon's life, if you're looking at a few $100,000 and a contract in Turkey, I mean, a lot of guys make pretty good money.
Right.
So you've got to consider that. And then, of course, you hear rumors of other guys that aren't happy with the system. If Brad Underwood could get guys of a level to be okay with the way he coaches, he can coach. It's just that today's kid coming through might not like that to the point of don't want to be around it. If you go out and win a Big Ten with this, then the guys kind of buy in. It's kind of worth it. It's kind of hard, but we get, look what a success. When you're losing and get yelled at, it's bad. Then you're wondering why you're there. It ain't any fun.
Smith made 19 starts, but none in the last 9 games, averaging 5.8 points, 19 minutes per game, while shooting 34% from the field, including 23% from the arc, 80% from the foul line. But those are not the numbers Smith and the Illini fans envisioned from the recruit cast as the face of the future for Illinois basketball. This article in the Telegraph.
It might very well turn out to where Mark Smith isn't what we thought, but if he is what we thought, and we watch him soar through the air with some other program and lead them, that'll hurt. Time will tell on that. The bottom line is it's bad. It's just bad. I think for recruiting, perception, all these things, to lose a Mr. Basketball so quickly, we'll see. And the week's not over. And again, I think there could be more news coming out, and we'll see. And you just hang in there, but I think this is a real blow and a real hit, and it's a shame, and I'm sorry it didn't work out for him. And I'm sorry for Brad because this is a big name, And again, you have to fight through so much garbage on the recruiting trail and stuff that's said. This is a bad headline for us. There's just no way to spin that. Text in. What do you think? 359-2255, 730.
Hey, it's Stevie J. Have the roof your home deserves. For your next roofing project, why don't you go with Roof Doctors, a locally owned and family-operated business for over 25 years. They use superior materials. They're a certified shingle contractor, so they can offer a 50-year non-prorated full system warranty, and they won't loan your work out to subcontractors. Hey, Roof Doctors has worked on my home, and the results are fantastic. But don't just take it from me. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, Roof Doctors has plenty of satisfaction customers. Get a free quote at roofdoctorsco.com.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. After staying on TV all day, he would not. Former Trump campaign advisor Sam Nunberg now tells the Associated Press he will speak to a grand jury looking into Russian election meddling.
His TV appearances were so odd, CNN's Aaron Burnett asked him if he was drinking.
I have smelled alcohol on your breath.
Well, I have not had a drink.
Anything else?
No.
No.
Besides my meds.
Okay.
Antidepressants, is that okay?
By nightfall, Nunberg changed his tune.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. A winter storm hitting the Midwest is heading toward the Northeast.
With wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour near the coast, power outages will still be a threat. Some areas will see over a foot of snow, especially north and west of New York City. But any change in the track could mean the difference between a rain and snow mix to an all-snow event.
Fox meteorologist Janet Steen. Fox News. We report, you decide.
It's another day. Bob returns after helping the Franklins.
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
I feel bad. Rooter guys lost another one.
Oh, let me guess. You did another no-clog guaranteed sewer replacement.
Yeah, I do feel good knowing we fixed their problem permanently for 40% less than conventional methods.
Got sewer problems at your home or business? Call Stevens Underground Solutions. We'll see what's going on and give you multiple options for a permanent solution. Stevens Underground Solutions, 202-3385. We'll get you flowing again.
Getting tired of the winter rut? Well, learn a new sport today at Momentum Archery. Just ask Mike Wilson. He went in and found the pro shop he trusts.
The owner, Mike Nash, he's great. His bow tech is Alex. We call him Poppy. He just spends a lot of time with you. He'll set your bow up. He'll spend endless hours with you just trying to get you good. They're just super friendly group of people. Everybody that comes in there, even the guys that are coming to shoot.
Find a place that you'll fit right in. Find Momentum Archery on Route 45 in Tolono, on Facebook or online at Momentum.com. You already enjoy delicious burgers and craft beer at Scotty's Brewhouse. Now stop by and try their new light and fresh spring menu. Available now through April 1st, Scotty's is offering new mouth-watering appetizers, entrees, salad, and sandwiches. Kick off your meal with an order of sweet and spicy shrimp. Then try the bluegill BLT, pasta primavera, grilled shrimp, and avocado tacos, or the unique Greek falafel salad. Hurry into Scotty's Brewhouse at 2001 South Neal Street. You don't want to miss these limited time offerings. Scotty's Brewhouse is your craft beer sports bar.
I mean, it might be the only news we get from Illinois basketball this week. It's just that the rumors are heavy out there, and usually it's a week like this that announcements are made. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully everything else intact. That's what we're hoping for. All right, whether you want to travel more, move to a warmer climate, invest in a hobby, you have dreams for retirement. You know, when people retire, a lot of people retire in their 50s. You got like 40 more years.
I know it.
Whatever you might think, the experts at Busey Wealth Management recommend saving 10 to 15% of your annual income. Well, if you're already retired, we're kind of late on that. We start a new career. And you've got to dance around all your pension stuff and requirements once you get 65, I know. Best savings choice, 401k individual retirement account, 401k an employer-sponsored retirement savings plan, individual retirement account, or IRA. They can walk you through what you have with those. There are two types of IRAs. The traditional, the Roth, are taxed at time of contribution. So when you get your Roth later in 30 years, it's tax-free because you already paid. So not really tax-free, but you don't feel the tax at the end because you've already paid it going in. What you need to do is get with the Busey Wealth Management team. They got like 90 people that are really smart. If you're trying to decide between a traditional or Roth, utilize the financial calculator. They've got that online. You can kind of see how it all over time performs and what it looks like. Resource Center at Busey.com. Resource Center at Busey.com. You can also talk to Busey Wealth Management's professionals. They'll help you determine which IRA is best for your savings strategy. Just start something. You'll feel better about it. 800-67-BUSEY. Visit any Busey location today. Investment products and services are not FDIC insured, may lose value, no bank guarantee. I'm Stevie J. It's Tuesday. I'm bummed about Mark Smith because of how it looks. I don't know if the kid will ever be what we think he was going to be. Maybe, but I'm just sorry he left. And again, I think the dynamic of a kid growing up, I think they're coddled from a very early age. I don't think they're ever yelled at very much. Brad Underwood's a tough coach. I think he knows how to coach. You just got to get the right players to play for us that can be very successful. It's a tough deal. Recruiting's hard enough, and then kids wanting to go. 359-2255. You're welcome to text in on that or anything else. We do have Dr. Todd coming up in a few moments. Ask the vet. Do you have any questions for your dog or cat? Something that's pending, some lump or something or some concern? You can text it in. We'll get it asked for you at 359-2255. All right. What should you do if you've been falsely accused of misconduct at the workplace? People have the right to respond to their accuser, which means to know who, where, when, what, and why. It also stands to reason that there'll be women who falsely accuse because they want money, publicity, or both. As a whole, we need to carefully separate out credible claims that have facts and proof making them both logical and have proof making them both logical and believable from those that cannot be proven. President and founder of Diamond Associates, it's Arlen Diamond. Are you there?
Arlen, yes.
Arlen
yes.
Diamond. Arlen Diamond, Santa Clara. What? It's 5:36 in Santa Clara.
I know.
Wow.
And not only that, but I'm dressed already and made up.
That is
I've got a meeting. I've got a meeting to go to after these.
I'm guessing you were raised on the East Coast.
I was raised in New York City.
Come on! How do I know that? I just got you down. Arlen, I know you already. It's Arlen Diamond. She's PhD, president, founder of Diamond Associates. Okay, so we have this situation where I tend to believe women. But man, they're not 100% of them are telling the truth. But what do I do? How do I know?
Well, I think that's really the most difficult task. If it's something that happened a long, long time ago, which many of these claims are, then as he said, she said, there's one can judge believability, but that's really hard to be to do effectively. So I think that's one of the problems that's cropping up is things that have happened so long ago. Unless there were several people that have come forward and it becomes credible that way, it becomes difficult. And in the beginning, when it was first starting, I think it was more likely that what came up was truthful. But now it's become a bandwagon to some people. And there are some attorneys, of course, that are making their fame off of it. So we have to be more careful. I think it's also become a political weapon. If you want to get rid of somebody politically,
right.
you make some accusations against them. And that's happening in the workplace as well, politically.
Man.
I get rid of this guy so that I can get promoted or something.
So what do you do? What does Diamond Associates do?
I'm a consulting firm. I deal with the people issues in the workplace, what they call soft skills. So I help with communication. I help with conflict. I do leadership training and a lot of training in the area of sexual harassment, of course, because it covers everything. It covers bullying. It covers misunderstanding. It covers people who have just different values, who have no intention of hurting each other, but inadvertently do. So I try to have a kind of benign and balanced approach. Many of the things that come out in the workplace that are complaints are things that you can resolve through mediation and through some counseling. Not everything rises to the level of criminal behavior. And one of the tragedies, as I see it, is that we're lumping the most minor forms of annoyance, harassment, with the most egregious. And we seem to be throwing them all in the same pot. And I think that that's doing the real issues a great disservice.
Yeah. Okay, Arlen, you have the jerks. You have the real bad bosses that are really, really bad. Does all of this Me Too stop this, or do they like bungee jumping and think it's more of a thrill to try and still do this stuff?
No, I think it's going to stop, and I'll tell you why. I think it's going to stop. Nothing's going to be perfect, of course, but I think it's going to stop it because women are going to be believed, and the men that are abused, and there are going to be channels for people to come forward. I'm advocating, and I deal with my clients, I'm advocating that there be more than one channel for people to be able to come forward and make a complaint. Because sometimes, let's say that the guy is your immediate supervisor, just to be stereotypical for a minute. If you report it to his boss, the likelihood is that his boss is going to want to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there has to be other channels within the organization. I'm also really fighting hard for people to do neutral evaluations. In general, and I've second-guessed a lot of them, in general, what happens is somebody makes a complaint, and then the person doing the evaluation unwittingly actually just looks for evidence to support the complaint and discards evidence that would refute it. So knowing your own biases and doing neutral investigations is something that's very difficult to do, but something that I think is critically important to teach.
I would say probably most of claims are probably true to some extent, but it's horrific if they're not true because of what it does to the other person.
I would agree. But I would also want to say that, just one example, generally speaking, men like to tease. Men tease as a sign of affection. Men tease children, they tease kittens, they tease puppies, they tease women. We women, and again I'm making a generalization, we women don't respond well to teasing. So a lot of what happens is some guy says something meaning no harm, and it's received badly.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
and the other thing is really what my father taught me when I was a kid, redheaded kid in the Bronx. The very crude invitations, My father taught me not to be insulted by them, just to walk away, but not to be insulted. But some of the invitations that come forth make you want to slap the guy in the face, frankly.
Yeah, right. Well, Diane grew up in the construction world where your dad was a union boss, and so you definitely had heard.
I could totally relate to this. Or, if I tossed it back to them or, pinch somebody's hind end back.
Yeah.
I mean, and I wasn't instigating, but, that was sort of my response in your face. Take that. How does that feel? And I headed it off a lot of the times with that kind of joking right back or teasing right back.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and I headed it off by saying thank you and waving and just walking on. I had a great dad who taught me some really important life lessons. But one of the things that I caution strong women about is, we know how to handle ourselves, but a little noblesse oblige. There are women and some men, and certainly girls and boys, that are far more vulnerable and far more susceptible to the bullies and the jerks taking advantage of them. And so it's up to us to make sure that doesn't happen.
Arlen, how do people find you? How do they get hold of Diamond Associates? You sound so smart.
Oh, thank you so much. What a lovely compliment. It's diamondassociates.net is the website. You can reach me by emailing me. It's Arlyne, ARLYNE, at diamondassociates.net. Or ultimately, you can call me at 408-554-0110.
Well, somebody hire her so I can meet her and have her in the studio. Come on.
There you go.
Let's go.
Oh, I'd love it.
Well, kudos.
Illinois. I'd love to.
Kudos to getting up at 5:43 to talk about this issue in such an articulate way.
No, actually, I'm up since 3:15 this morning.
What is
because
up with
I've got this series of interviews, and then immediately after it, I'm going to be late for my first meeting.
Unbelievable. Look at her work, ladies and gentlemen. Arlen, nice to meet you, and good luck with all this.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. President and founder of Diamond Associates, Dr. Arlen Diamond.
DiamondAssociates.net.
It's a real issue, and to have somebody that can navigate, because obviously big companies and small companies, you have problems and issues, and she said most stuff can be just mediated and figured out.
Right.
And then...
but this Me Too wave meant to figure out, kind of the ranking of your complaint. And some of them very serious, and some of them just, maybe a passing teasing comp.
What you heard and how it was said and the tone.
Right.
And, and people are offended by that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Dr. Arlen Diamond. All right, it's 7:45. Dr. Todd, coming up, you got a question for your dog or cat. You can text in 359-2255. Diane with sports headlines.
And, of course, we've been getting comments from Illini Nation about Mark Smith leaving Mr. Basketball 2017. Where will he go? What will he do? Jason said Mark had the keys to the program dangling in front of him. Trent swiped them and took off. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction when it comes to building a program.
He might be totally right about Mark Smith and his basketball future. I don't know. Time will tell. Perceptually, it's bad. Period. I'm sorry. It just doesn't look good. Brad's first big guy leaves after one season is not any good for the perception of this. That's all. And again, might be that Mark decides not to play basketball or is a pitcher. I don't know. It'll super hit us in 2 or 3 years if he does turn into some player for somebody else that is really good. So he's got athleticism that's crazy. Does he want to put it out there like Brad wanted him to? Obviously not. Wasn't a good fit is what he told the paper.
That's right. Pacers over Milwaukee, 92-89. Boston over the Bulls, 105-89. In the AP poll, Virginia unanimous number 1, then Villanova, Xavier, Michigan State at number 4, then Duke. Michigan has bumped up to number 7 after winning 4 games in 4 days and getting the Big Ten tournament title. Purdue has dropped down to 10, Ohio State at 17. Our Illinois football program has received a $1 million anonymous donation for the football performance center. So we'll see how that goes.
State Farm Center announced that folk rock band the Avett Brothers will perform State Farm Center Thursday, September 27. Avett Brothers are known for their 2016 True Sadness album. Kind of folk rock, kind of cool. Tickets go on sale Friday, March 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. StateFarmCenter.com, 866-ILLINI-1. Or at the Illinois ticket office at State Farm Center. Listen all week. We are giving out a pair of tickets every day between now and Thursday, I guess. We did one yesterday. We'll do another pair coming up later this morning. All right, stand by for that. And if you need janitorial supplies, you go to CMI, Chemical Maintenance, Inc., Betsy and Brad Parks. Betsy and Brad are local. People know Betsy and Brad Parks. They've been around a long time. And they just asked the chance to earn your business with a quote. They got all the stuff you need to really clean it up. All the janitorial things that you would envision needing, you can get at 359-6262 or online at cmiclean.com. cmiclean.com. Another texter, the basketball team lacks leadership. You never see anybody on the court trying to rally the troops when things aren't going as planned. I think Brad Underwood would agree with that one. He was looking for a leader all season. And yeah, there was that. Here we go with your ESPN 93.5 3-day forecast from the National Weather Service.
We've got the sunshine now, but later on we'll get more clouds and there's a 40% chance of precipitation. Today's high 45 though, 28 our low tonight. 35 the high tomorrow with some clouds down to 21, up to 37, partly cloudy on Thursday, down to 21. 42 by Friday, up near 50 by Saturday. We're currently at 35 on ESPN 93.5.
I might be waggy, but I want to play.
Yeah, we love talking dogs and cats and pets.
I'm your best friend. You can get away.
Come on. Hello, baby. Come here. Come here.
I deserve a treat because I'm a fluffy babe.
You deserve pot roast. Come here.
I got hair shaking the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our friend Dr. Todd Likens, the pet pro near Old Farm Shops and also Mohammed. So I was trying to remember my Isabella, I can't remember. Isabella's mom was Lily or somebody? It wasn't Isabella, was it?
That's what I'm trying to remember too. I think I didn't ask Gina this morning. I should have, but I think Isabella could possibly have been her mom or grandma.
Because we had the dad was the guy that always fetched everything. What was the
Fierro?
Was it?
Or was it Blizzard?
No, it was the one
Fierro?
No, it wasn't Fierro. It was the one that always fetched and brought back all the time. You said
Polar.
Yeah, Polar.
Polar still works.
Wow.
He's in his retirement home. He's across the street. People recognize that name if they go to Old Farm. They'll see him over there. I'm not going to say what shop.
All right.
But
Polar was the daddy of both Charlie and Bella. And Isabella, you lost this week. That was the first mama you had?
She was the first snow angel. So, as I like to say, our first angel got her wings this week.
That's awesome. Well, she was a great dog. He lived a long time.
She did. I think she was almost 14.
Wow.
So
that's what a wonderful home that Isabella had with you guys. That's awesome. And you had puppies this week?
Yeah. So I've got both the sad and the happy stuff going on this week. We, Sparkle is her proper name, who works the front desk very well. And when she does a laying on of the paws when people come to greet her here at work, she had 10 puppies, and she's so good that, she'd had one litter before, and we set up the birthing box, and she knew exactly what it was. And so, of course, I fell asleep, and she didn't do the typical pre-labor. I won't go into that. But anyway, I woke up to the sound of a screaming little puppy. She said, I don't need Dad. I'll just do it all by myself. And she went to the birthing box and did the first puppy all by herself.
Wow.
We got
that's so cool.
10 healthy babies.
Well, congratulations on that. And again, what a great doggy Isabella was. A wonderful. She got her angels for sure, angel wings for sure today. Okay, so I'm all for the fence, the electronic fence. I think it's a safety issue. I think it's okay. The doggy can be trained. We've used that, but I didn't have my little collars on Charlie and Bella. And you know how sometimes when you lax the rules?
Yes.
So 2 a.m, I'm looking out there and Charlie's in the field. I'm going, yo, dude.
Oh.
So I had to put their little collars back on it. You know, I kind of dangled it and let Bella hear the beep, and she knows what that means. So it's kind of back to school with the rules, because you don't want them wandering around the neighborhood. That's for sure.
No, it can be, like I said, I thought maybe you were going to say they were serving a little time over in the animal control or something that.
No. That's why I'm doing that, so they don't. It's
right.
And we don't want our doggies to be on. And you put a chip in dogs now, right?
Yeah, we actually chip our babies like right now, right at day 1 or 2, so we can track weights. And those little ribbons they put on dogs can fall off. So it helps us manage weights, because it's a nice littler puppy, and one of them weighs 1.2, and trust me, 1 pound 2 ounces, and those guys are going to root out the little 12-ouncers, so we have to make sure they're growing and getting their fair share of the food.
Mm-hmm. So there are not enough nipples for all the puppies? Is that how that works?
No, we got 10 restaurants, 10 puppies.
I'll be darned.
So it worked out great.
Wow.
I remember when Pixie had puppies, though. She would nudge the runt off to the side and, try to weed it out. So,
interesting.
And then we'd take the runt and give it special time, saying, no, Pixie.
Yeah, exactly. The restaurants open earlier than the other ones in our house.
There you go.
So they get a little earlier dinners.
And before we let you go, speak to how important it is that if you are going to be a breeder, that it takes like crazy. I know a ton of people have backyard puppies, and I get that. But I don't know if they realize what kind of effort and work that is to make sure they're all properly cared for.
This is a lot of work. I mean, people, you just think it's cute. It's work. I mean, and it's around the clock, too, and to do it right. They need to be raised in the house. I mean, that is so huge, because they've got to become part of the family, and that starts from day 1. And they've got to be stimulated for mentally, and they got to be used to noises. But, you shouldn't get puppies that were not raised in the house. It's just, it makes a huge difference to do it right.
Well, you produce wonderful, wonderful pets. There's no question about that. In fact, I believe that I wouldn't do this kind of thing you're doing unless I was a veterinarian, and I wouldn't mow grass if I wasn't a mechanic, because you'd have somebody fix the mower. All the things you got to do with these puppies before they get it going, only a vet can do all that, and you do such a great job. People can find your Snow Angels, and what's the website again?
SnowAngelRetrievers.com. There's lots of puppy videos and puppy pictures, and
it's
Taylor singing.
Ridiculous how cute. And how's the 7 days a week going now? You big lug?
It's no different. I was here doing paperwork anyway. Now, my gosh, we were swamped on our first Saturday grooming, totally swamped. And our Sunday afternoon was busy. We got several people in for really no advertising. That's great. I love it.
All right. If they want to get their dog washed, it's only $20, right?
And it's going to be the season. You're going to want to get them washed or cut down from all that winter hair. So we're ready to go.
And you got Saturday hours and even noon to 2 on Sundays. What?
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
All right.
Just
hanging out at the old Madison Kirby. Come on by.
Yeah, I need to set up a bed, I think. Maybe that's what I need to do here.
Hey, I'll see you soon. Thank you, my friend.
All right, see you, Stevie.
Dr. Todd Likens at the Pet Pro, also in Mahomet by the police station. They got security there.
Sounds good.
And Madison Kirby, go see. They got like 9 dogs there every day. They're just darling. Mm-hmm. What's Greg say? I believe the Avett brothers.
Instead of Avett, it's Avett.
I said Avett, and I was corrected.
Okay.
So maybe it's Avett, maybe it's Avett. I don't know, people.
It's Avett. How about that?
Anybody know? It'd be worse if I'd have said, Neil Diamond, but it's Diamond. I knew that.
Okay.
But, for people that follow the Avett brothers know it's Avett or whatever it is, and I got to. Okay.
They're coming September 27th. Win them before you buy them this week. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10.
Okay. And next hour, I'll give you a chance. Also next hour, Darren Fletcher, the old Hall of Famer.
Awesome.
Darren Fletcher, former catcher, University of Illinois.
Our baseball team's been playing well.
Well, we started 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've won a bunch.
5 in a row.
A like have, Avett. Greg, I trust you on this because I don't know. So I'm going to now call it Avett because of you. You had a programming change here. Because of Greg.
There you go.
Well done. Avett. So
and you can chime in, too, at 359.
Have. No, he said have, like have. Avett. Like, it says A like have would be Avett. Right?
Okay.
He says A like have, which would be Avett. I'm now in the loop. Avett brother tickets coming up in the next hour. If I'm wrong, talk to Greg. You can text in 359-2255. I most of my life, I'm pro Illini. I just can't find a good thing about Mark Smith leaving for my program, as the way it looks. Maybe Mark didn't have what it takes to play college basketball. I don't know any of that. But it just does not play well for the program and the perception because I've had really, really good friends that recruit and are on the road a lot, and it's ugly. It is ugly what they say about you anyway. And then when you lose a guy, it's like, oh, turmoil, don't go there, oh, he screams at his guy. Who? That's what they do. They negative recruit all the time. And a lot of the stuff they say isn't true. And that's just what way that is. It's just hard to... So anyway, you want to text about Mark Smith, anything else, 359-2255. Brett Barron's going to be guest hosting this morning from Channel 3. Jeremy's on the Fighting Illini football beat as the Fighting Illini spring football has begun. Yeah. Okay, we're going to be right back. We'll pause for the news and come back and get our 8 o'clock hour. Again, Darren Fletcher will be up. Also, Bobby Albert. We got some workplace things like if smokers get work breaks, should you?
Right.
Huh?
I kind of write that in. It's all good.
Talk about that in just a minute.
Something's coming up the plumbing, and you're really in a bind. It's creaking and it's leaking, and you're running out of time. You need a plumber right away, and there's only one to call. It doesn't really matter if your problem's large or small. Clark Plumbing and Heating is your expert for all. Call them today and say hooray, because Clark Plumbing and Heating always saves the day. Find out why customers always give Clark Plumbing 2 thumbs up. Clark Plumbing and Heating, 356-5356. That's 356-5356. Or clark-plumbing.com.
Mark Sheldon, Katie Blakeman, John Farney, all serve with distinction, yet none ever worked in the office prior to taking office. John Rector's opponent talks of experience, but 8 people in the clerk's office have more experience than his 3 years. John Rector has been a community leader for more than 4 decades. Rotary, mentoring, county board, among the many organizations that have benefited from John's leadership. On March 20th, vote for experienced leadership.
I'm John Rector. For my entire life, I've served in leadership roles in business and volunteer groups as I've tried to give back to the Champaign County community. I've done everything from coaching grade school kids, being a Rotary president, and now serving on the county board. I'm running to lead the county clerk's office. Working with the experienced staff already in place, we can protect the integrity of our election process and protect your personal data. Vote for me, John Rector, in the Republican primary election.
Paid for by Citizens for Rector.
It's a Cardinal Cubs bus trip.
Play ball!
Hi, it's Stevie J. You're invited to join us for our trip to St. Louis for the Cardinals and Cubs Saturday, May 5th. It's only $130 per person and includes our group seating in the left field bleachers and round trip on our Peoria Charter motor coach. Plus, someone on one of our buses will be selected to throw out the first pitch. Say what? Space is limited, so hurry. Complete details at espncu.com. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
It would let some teachers be armed at school. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A bill Florida State Senate has approved would raise the minimum age to buy rifles to 21, and there would be also a 3-day waiting period.
We need layers and layers and layers of security measures in these schools to make them safe.
Lori Al-Hadef's daughter was one of the 17 students and adults murdered in the Parkland shooting spree, and nearly 3 weeks after the first lawsuit. Fox's Evan Brown live in Miami.
Now, Dave, an attorney representing one of the teenage victims from Stoneman Douglas High and his family has filed notices of intent to sue Broward County, Florida, its school system, and its sheriff's office, saying 3 entities failed to protect students from life-threatening harm. The attorney represents student Anthony Borges, who was shot 5 times, suffering life-threatening wounds, and is still in the hospital, unable to walk, and requiring constant assistance, Dave.
Evan, a 20-year-old in Oregon, is suing Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart for refusing to sell him a gun after the stores changed policy, upping the gun buying age to 21. A Russian cargo plane has crashed in Syria, killing 32 people on board. How and why, we don't know. The Korean tension seems to keep easing. South Korean officials say the North's leaders agree to a summit next month with their president. Fox's John Decker has some reaction live from the White House.
President Trump tweeting this morning, "We will see what happens." This following a meeting between South Korean officials and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, in which Kim promised to not use nuclear or conventional weapons against South Korea. He also expressed a willingness to hold talks with the U.S. on denuclearization. The Trump administration says it is open to talks with Pyongyang, but only on the condition that it commits to ridding the country of nuclear weapons. Dave?
John, the president just tweeted about the Oscars getting lowest ratings ever, writing, "Problem is, we don't have stars anymore, except your president." Adding in parentheses, "just kidding, of course." Fox News, fair and balanced.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
I wasn't so sure about getting on eHarmony, but my brother said, "Hey, I met my wife on eHarmony. Just give it a shot."
I was nervous about joining eHarmony too, at first.
eHarmony has found a way to bring people together who are right for each other and ready to find something real.
They got us talking, and then we realized we were meant for each other.
When I'm with her, I'm happy.
Aw.
For a limited time, get a free month included when you buy a 3-month plan. Use code READY. eHarmony.com. Use code READY.
Former Trump campaign advisor Sam Nunberg, who said, "Let Robert Mueller arrest me," now says he'll end up cooperating with the special counsel's Russia probe. Nunberg had been saying he would defy a subpoena to go before a grand jury and turn over thousands of emails. A federal judge in Maryland has ruled President Trump can legally end the DACA program, the Obama program that shields some immigrants brought here illegally as children. But other judges blocked President Trump, leaving DACA in place for now. The president just tweeted he's waiting for the Democrats. They're running for the hills on immigration reform.
I would urge the president to re-engage, take the bipartisan bill, make it better.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham's several proposals fell short in the Senate last month. Bill Cosby's due back in court this hour in Pennsylvania.
Prosecutors want as many as 19 of comedian Bill Cosby's accusers to take the stand next month in his retrial on sexual assault charges. His lawyers have argued that some of the women accusing him are impossible to defend against, citing memories and evidence lost, as well as that some witnesses are dead. The judge in the matter says he will not rule on whether to allow the testimony by the end of the hearing because he needs time to review it. At the first trial, that same judge only allowed one accuser to testify, barring any mention of dozens of others who have come forward. The retrial is set to start April 2nd. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
In Kansas, a woman scorned hath fury on her illegal immigrant ex.
Mexican national Serafin Alegria Zamora broke things off with his girlfriend and not only started a relationship with another woman, but also started a new family. But the jealous ex had a trump card up her sleeve. She reported Alegria Zamora to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Wichita. Alegria Zamora has been convicted of illegal reentry into the United States and a misuse of a Social Security number and was deported. His 5-month-old son and common-law wife will remain in the U.S. Tom Rigotti, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising before the opening bell. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN 93.5 3-day forecast from the National Weather Service. Diane Ducey.
What a nice start to our day, Stevie. We've got a high 45 expected, but later on, more clouds and a 40% chance of precipitation. 28 our low tonight. Up to 35 tomorrow, down to 21. That's the cool spot for the next 10 days with the clouds. Then we have partly cloudy conditions by Thursday, high 37, low 21. 42 Friday, 48 on Saturday. Things are looking better and better. Of course, we got the time change coming up between the 10th and 11th at 2 in the morning on the 11th on Sunday morning. Right now we're at 36, ESPN 93.5.
All right, here we go into our 8 o'clock hour. Smokers, do they get more time because they need to smoke? Should we, if we don't smoke, get the same breaks? A little on that coming up. We were talking Mark Smith a lot in the first hour. My take on it is, sorry it didn't work out. I think it's not good for our program to lose a Mr. Basketball after a year. Then we talked a little bit about today's athlete, how they don't, and I know all coaches yell. There's no doubt about that. Does Brad Underwood yell, and is it more intense? I don't know. He yells, but you see a lot of coaches yelling.
Sure.
I don't know what they're yelling, but, I don't know. Is it more yelling here? Or is it like, oh, give me a break, he's an athlete, they yell at players all the time?
I don't necessarily like any cussing if that's happening, but again, I don't know. There was a comment in, first, I'm not concerned about the negative recruiting against Underwood. All coaches yell. Second, I'm unconcerned about Mark Smith leaving or how it looks. I don't believe he or this coach is trying to put a positive spin on this. It simply didn't work. I'm excited about who will take his scholarship.
All right.
I'm sure Underwood won't make this same mistake again.
It's you have to have a certain level of skill, right? I mean, it's one thing to have, this kid will really listen, he doesn't care, he'll dive for the ball, but you still got to be able to make baskets and score. Mark Smith didn't shoot it very well. He had athleticism to get to the basket. Coach tried to get him to do that more. He had some moments that were really good. I mean, there were moments that Mark Smith had that you're going, oh, he's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And so to lose that after all this, we're going against Duke and Kentucky and Ohio State and Michigan State want Mark Smith. We get him?
Right.
That was something. We got a new coach. He likes Brad. They're coming here. Woohoo! And then 8 months later, 10 months later, whatever it was, it's a hit. I think, what the recruiters will say is that the program's in chaos. They can't keep guys. They yell at them too hard. They're harsh treatment. Whatever they say that isn't true. It might not be true, but they'll say it anyway. And fact is, you lost to Mr. Basketball after a year, and I don't know how you spin that to be good. Unless Mark says, you know what, I don't want to play basketball. Okay, then Brad was right. If he turns into a great player down the road, you're going to say, man, why wasn't he great here? Would you, all that.
Well, with him making 19 starts, but none in the last 9 games, that's where I'm reading, whoa, I wonder what's happening that is...
Well, he just wasn't performing in the Big Ten at that level. And maybe it was, man, we got to get more juice out of him. He's got to get after it better. If you didn't get after it, you weren't going to play. I mean, that's just... So you had to ratchet up to that level that Brad Underwood does. And I think, I like the intensity. I like what Brad Underwood has brought to everything. It just, when you lose a skilled guy that's an athlete like that, who's he got coming in? I don't know. And how's that all going to fit? And again, rumors abound and there might be more. We'll just have to wait. It's Tuesday. It'll probably happen. If anything happens else with this program, it'll be this week, I would think. Okay, so 359-2255, you're all welcome to text in. We're going to talk about smoking at work. Are there a lot of smokers anymore? I mean, now listen, I don't smoke, never smoked, don't like it, but we have taken a smoker and made them a third-class citizen, an outcast because of their dirty,
I've been
stinking
ostracized. The only area where I can smoke now is by the dumpster.
And they charge, what is it now, $6 a pack for a cigarette?
I know.
I think it's at $5 or $6, because why not tax a smoker? You know, and it's an ugly deal. I don't like it or anything, but I think we have pounded the smoker. If a guy wants to smoke, if a woman wants to smoke, you know what? They know the dangers. They know what they're doing. It's a free country. You can smoke. I don't care. I don't want to be around you, but I mean, if you want to smoke, I smoke. But we've certainly made that unpopular. I'm hoping someday sugar will be in the same category of scorned at and ooh, you're a sugar person as we do smoker, because it's not healthy. But you know what? They know that, and I wish they'd quit, and they probably do too. But we really ripped the smoker. I mean. It is not cool to smoke anymore. In the early movies, 50s, 60s, 70s, everybody smoked. I mean, everybody had a cigarette in their finger during the movie. It's just kind of how that has evolved, and we know it's bad. I mean, we know that, but it's still legal, and if they want to smoke, it's their business. Okay, so if you do have people that smoke, and they take 5 or 10 minutes because they got to smoke, should you get the same 5 or 10 minutes? I mean, that's a fair question. Our good friend Bobby Albert, who's a workplace kind of consultant guy from Texas. How are you, Bobby?
Hey, good morning again.
Business strategist.
Glad to be on your show.
Awesome to have you back. Author of Principal Profits, Outward Success is an Inside Job. Bobby Albert, A-L-B-E-R-T. So what about that? Smoker needs 10 minutes. Do I get 10 minutes if I don't smoke?
Well, it's a very interesting topic because the perception is real about smokers get more breaks than non-smokers. And, I understand that perception because I'm a non-smoker. I never have smoked. But if I may share this truth, is that non-smokers take as many breaks as smokers do. If we look at this in a practical sense, it is that if you go to work today and you're asked to press your hand against the wall as hard as you can for 8 hours, it's not going to happen. It's not practical to do that. So what happens is that non-smokers take about as many breaks, but they just do it differently. They go to the Coke machine or the snack machine, and they go to the break room, or they'll go back to they'll get up for a while and, go to the restroom and then come back to the workstation and look at their social media or something like that. So they are taking as many breaks as smokers do, but I understand the perception.
All right, we have some text in.
Yeah, I know a guy at a previous job who did not smoke, but would go outside when the smokers went on a break just to prove a point. That job did away with smoke breaks.
Well, you bring up an interesting point because I have a good friend who's a smoker. He's a pretty heavy smoker. And he's told me that when he goes out, he's an executive, and when he goes out and smokes with the employees, he learns a lot about the company. Mm-hmm. What's going on and what's not going on. And when he goes to conferences, he's outside smoking with competitors, and he's learning all kinds of things that competitors are doing and those kind of things. So there is there's a productive time, I would guess. But one thing in the research has indicated is that smokers take one extra sick day than non-smokers. But if I can just suggest this, what I have observed that many non-smokers have all other types of unhealthy behavior in the food they eat and the lack of exercise. And all these kind of things eventually drive the smokers, as well as this unhealthy behavior, drives the cost of health insurance in the workplace.
Well, I used to joke and say when the smokers take a break, I'm going to take a secondhand smoking break, too. I can totally relate to what you were saying. In fact, there's another text in to 359-2255. My job takes me to many retail businesses where I witness many people taking smoke breaks. I like to stir the pot and ask the non-smokers if they'd like to take a 5-minute break every half hour like the smokers do. So there is a little competition, it sounds like, in the workplace about who gets what kind of breaks.
Well, it definitely is, and of course, exactly the perception is there, but it's time for each one of us to take responsibility of ourselves and become a little more self-aware. That am I pressing my hand against that wall as hard as I can for a total of 8 hours? No, I'm not doing that. I'm going around and to the water cooler and talking to people. I take a coffee break or something like that. So
all right, Bobby, it's always a pleasure. How do people find you?
Well, thank you for asking. Simply come to my website, which is BobbyAlbert.com. And you mentioned about my book, and today is the day that it's publicly being released. So thank you for mentioning that.
You betcha. And good luck to you, Bobby.
Thank you.
My pleasure. 816. Need a vehicle? Before you buy, why don't you make sure you stop by Honda BMW in Champaign off of Neal at Burwash? And find out why they were the Honda President's Award for 2017, Honda President's Award winner. That just reflects very, very good dealership that obviously knows how to treat people right to get that award, because every review has to come in, the service mechanically has to work, all the sales, they got to be happy with pricing. Find out why. It's worth stopping in and test driving maybe today an Odyssey, their terrific van. Or a CRV, maybe the Civic. Honda BMW Champaign, drivechampaign.com at Neal and Burwash in Savoy, drivechampaign.com. Okay, Richard has a text about Mark. I want to listen to what Mark Smith says this summer after he's gone. If more players leave, there's a problem somewhere. It's not just players then. Several players left U of I football.
What did that say? I took it as not good for Illini football. Only time will tell.
Well, that's true. Only time will tell. I think most of the people that left football on the offensive side, we changed offensive coordinators, so there might have been a problem there. And I think they were all Tim Beckman people. Or Bill Cubitt people.
Okay.
Mark Smith was a Brad Underwood people. That's one of the differences in this particular one with football. But no, people come and go all the time. Basketball, it's a little higher visibility because there's fewer players.
Right.
And we know them a little bit better. All right, quick check of sports headlines again, 8:18.
All righty. We had the Pacers over Milwaukee, 92-89. Boston over the Bulls, 105-89. Blackhawks will host Colorado's Avalanche tonight. On to college basketball. Brigham Young over St. Mary's, 85-72. Iona in the MAC beat Fairfield, 83-71. People are watching to find out who's going to get what in the brackets and things like that, so I thought I'd bring it up, along with Virginia being the unanimous number 1 in the AP poll, and Villanova, Xavier, Michigan State now at number 4, and Duke to round out the top 5. Michigan at number 7 after winning 4 games in 4 days. Those Wolverines taking that Big Ten title. And we also had Purdue bump down to number 10 and Ohio State at number 17. Illini football, $1 million donation for the Illinois Football Performance Center.
Okay. ESPN 93.5.
And then, of course, more about Mark Smith. Tim saying couldn't handle playing at the college level.
Well, okay, that might be true. We don't know that yet. But if he goes to Michigan State and they win a national title and he's the guy, okay, ouch. It might be, it doesn't work. I don't know. I'm just saying perceptually it doesn't look good to me. And I might be wrong.
We also got a text in saying that the idea that non-smokers could get away with wandering around, he says, is ridiculous. They should be back at work.
Here we go with your ESPN 93.5 3-day forecast from the National Weather Service.
Okay, sunshine this morning, but clouds this afternoon and a 50% chance of showers. High 45, low 27. Only up to 34 tomorrow. That's the cool spot over the next 10 days, really. Down to around 21 on Wednesday evening. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 37, low 21. We're currently at 36. On ESPN 93.5.
Okay, we'll check your Fox Business Minute. Some more texts coming in regarding Mark Smith, 359-2255. Feel free to chime in. We always like hearing from you. Cub Cardinal bus trip. I mean, we're darn near halfway done with all of this. 3 buses. Boy, that you want to buy tickets, ESPNCU.com, ESPNCU.com, and you can get that done. 8:20.
From the Fox Business Network, the Nordstrom family has failed in its attempt to buy back the company and take it private. Nordstrom is currently a publicly traded company. The Nordstroms led a group that made an offer. A special committee of the Nordstrom board says the price they offered is too low. International Business Machines and Microsoft have settled their dispute involving an executive who left IBM for Microsoft. The settlement will permit that executive, Lindsay Ray McIntyre, to start working at Microsoft in July. Lego says its earnings and sales declined last year. The toy company says sales dropped 8%. Target reported a stronger holiday quarter. Sales picked up and online sales rose nearly 30%. However, Wall Street was hoping for even stronger numbers from Target. The Dow added 336 points yesterday. The Nasdaq was up 72. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
Friends, are you taking Viagra for ED? Well, you could be paying too much. Now you can take Sildenafil, the active ingredient in Viagra, for just $2 per tablet. $2 for a 20-milligram tablet, saving $40 per dose. Marley Drug is a North Carolina pharmacy delivering Sildenafil to your doorstep. Go to MarleyGenerics.com. That's Marley, MarleyGenerics.com. Or call 1-800-452-1760. That's 1-800-452-1760.
When water rushes in, keep the damage out by calling the cleanup team that's faster to any other size disaster. Serve Pro at 217-355-0077. That's where you'll find the specialist with the experience, equipment, and training to help make sure your property is dry the first time. So when water damage strikes your home or business, strike back by calling the cleanup team the insurance industry has trusted for more than 40 years. 217-355-0077. On the web at Serve Pro of Champaign. Like it never even happened. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Hey there, it's Mr. Matex from Matex Heating and Cooling. What could you do with an extra $1,600 right now? Go on a vacation? Pamper yourself for a day or two? Well, with the Matex Comfort Combo Special, get savings on the double of up to $1,600 on a new Train Home Comfort System with exclusive savings and energy incentives. Use that extra cash and treat yourself. Visit MatexService.com today for more details and see for yourself why it's hard to stop a train. Get the fix with Matex. Serving you since 1994.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. All right, some more text in.
Okay, firstly, let me clarify and read verbatim what Daskell has said. The idea that non-smokers could get away with wandering around, as he says, is ridiculous. They would be told to get back to work. Another comment about the smoking came in, and it said, if you can't handle 30 minutes without a smoke, you have serious issues.
People don't smoke every 30 minutes, do they?
I don't think
Isn't
so.
that chain smoking, almost?
I don't
I mean, you smoke for 10 minutes, you go back out in 30 and smoke for 10. I mean, that's a lot of smoking. That's 2 an hour.
Well, and I think of, friends that I know only smoke like maybe a third of the cigarette, and then they'll kind of put it out and
wait
get back
for later.
to it.
See, that's what we've done to these smokers.
So expensive
yeah,
these days.
$6 a pack. Is that what it is? I have no idea. What's a carton cost now? Ugh.
Right.
That's a bunch of money.
I mean, that's a lot. Okay, basketball, another text. Basketball and football have absolutely nothing to do with one another
regarding the transfers. In general, I have a pretty good feeling about what they are doing on the football side of things. Honestly, I'm concerned about basketball. I think there would be at least one or two more leave in the program. And let's face it, this staff is having a hard time attracting prospects.
Well, we got Io. That was large. But I don't know outside of Io as far as big. Mark Smith was big. And again, time will tell on how this all plays out and what happens to Mark Smith and is he turned into a terrific I don't know. I just know after a year of getting Mr. Basketball and the fanfare, the excitement that was Mark Smith, and then you're going, what happened? That's what they're going to say on the trail. And I know they talk bad about each other a lot on programs. Some programs I think try and do it straight down the middle, but it depends on your program. If you're really desperate to get players in, you're going to say a few things that might be stretching the truth or could be outright lies. I mean, it's dirty out there. I know that. So we'll see how that works for us. It might work out wonderfully. I don't know. I just think perceptually it's not a good thing for Illinois basketball. I don't think you can spin it any other way. You just move on. And then you see how it works. Time will tell on a whole bunch of this stuff. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to predict. And again, will there be more activity from this basketball team this week? I think that people are projecting, expecting, rumors are flying around. We'll see. Let's just wait and see because, rumors are rumors. Not true. Some got some fact to them, and some are stretched really, really thin and aren't right. But I think by Friday, I'll let you know. By the end of next week, for sure, that's how it's all going to shake out. But I think a lot of stuff happens this week.
Mark had called in to 359-2255 and talked to me during the break about how frustrating it was to see Mark Smith when he didn't make the shot, get really frustrated and down. And as a Illini Nation, he was concerned about, his response and getting back in the game. And sometimes, took it too hard when there were errors.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mark being a Cubs fan, I know John Lester, they've been working on him doing a throw to first in a bouncing the throw to first. In spring training.
He can do that? This is weird.
That's what they're working on. Trying a Jordan to Pippen bounce, an unorthodox attempt to solve John Lester's throwing problem.
I think it's worked wonderfully. I mean, you have these David Ross before, and now Wilson Contreras catching for the Cubs. They throw behind the runner, they pick him off half the time. I think John Lester's fine. It's interesting. He could bounce it to him, but he can't throw it in the air.
Right.
He can throw it on a dime to home plate. I mean, literally, put it on a dime. That's how accurate it is. And he can't psychologically throw it to first.
The veteran left-hander says he and Butterfield have been practicing the bounce throws on the backfield this spring.
Yeah, and I'm sure Rizzo will scoop him up and tag him out because the runners really do lead off because they know he's not going to throw.
Right.
But now if he has something in the toolbox that at least they have to think about it, that'll help.
But he says he usually tosses underhand after fielding a comeback.
He can do underhand, and he runs as close to the base as he can to do it.
Right.
But you know what? I haven't seen it really hurt the Cubs. They won a World Series, and he's a really good pitcher. So that's why you pay $155 million for a guy who can't throw it to first because he can throw it to home better. That's all it's really all you need.
Looking forward to the action on US 105.9. May 5 is our bus trip to Busch. Yep. Cubs versus Cardinals, 1:15 start. The first pitch thrown by someone on our 3 Peoria charter buses.
That's pretty cool, actually. Oh, Mark texts in, it works in cricket. Good point.
Okay.
Cricket, and I played, you know what they call pitching in cricket? It's called bowling. And you throw the ball and you try and bounce it in to hit the sticks that knock the thing off the top.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, good point, Mark. Good, well done. All right, 828.
You already love how convenient your debit card is. How much more would you love yours if it was rewarding too? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank, introducing You Choose Rewards. Every time you use your First Federal debit card, you earn points that reward you with exactly what you want. Just enroll and make the same purchases you normally do. Gas, groceries, or pay bills. Our easy-to-use rewards website helps you track points and shows you how to redeem them for fabulous rewards. Whatever you choose, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank. Get what you want out of life. Message and data rates may apply. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When water rushes in, keep the damage out by calling the cleanup team that's faster to any other size disaster. Serve Pro at 217-355-0077. That's where you'll find the specialist with the experience, equipment, and training to help make sure your property is dry the first time. So when water damage strikes your home or business, strike back by calling the cleanup team the insurance industry has trusted for more than 40 years. 217-355-0077. On the web at Serve Pro of Champaign. Like it never even happened. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Are you at your best when the whistle blows? With Carl Sports Medicine, you can jump higher, run faster, and be on your game every time. Take advantage of our professional athletic training services, plus injury prevention and free sports medicine walk-in clinics with injury experts. Get ready to reach your personal best. Visit carl.org/sportsmedicine or call 217-383-9400. Carl, official medical provider of Fighting Illini Athletics.
This is Shira from Champagne Surplus. It's the last week of our end of an era liquidation sale, and everything left must go before we close our downtown doors this Sunday. We're giving away an additional 50 to 70% off the lowest ticketed prices, which means you'll save a whopping 50 to 90% off our remaining stock. There's still clothing, jackets, shoes, and military surplus, store fixtures, and unique finds from the depths of our warehouse. So hurry into Champagne Surplus for the last time at our 303 South Neal downtown location.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump tweets, "We'll see what happens," about a meeting between North Korean President Kim Jong-un and a team from South Korea.
South Korea says it's agreed with North Korea to hold summits in late April. Also, according to a South Korean national security director, the North says it's ready to have heart-to-heart talks with the United States on issues regarding the North's potential denuclearization and normalization of relations with Washington.
Fox's Lillian Wu. It's primary day in Texas. It's the first of the 2018 midterm campaign.
The state legislature, the governor's seat, a Senate seat, and 36 House seats. That's what Texas voters will be going to the polls to cast ballots for today. Many of the open seats have so many candidates from both parties that most primaries won't have anyone winning a majority, ensuing runoffs in May.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Fox News. We report, you decide.
College campuses have a lot more phones in case there's an issue on the U of I campus.
Yeah, so all of our emergency phones that we have on campus, all you got to do is push a button and it rings directly into our department.
Does it say where it's coming from?
Yes, it does. Excellent. And actually, we dispatch our officers to those e-phones to check the area as well. So if you're not even able to speak to someone, we still have officers heading that way to check things out.
Could you tell me, Becky, because you're a genius, why University of Illinois students and students everywhere binge drink to the point to where they couldn't testify if they had to?
I'm not sure why they do that.
Okay, I just wondered because I don't know either. I mean, when you talk to them about crime prevention and you discuss drinking, but yet they'll go out and with the intended goal of drinking, throwing up, and drinking some more.
Right. I don't quite understand that either myself. So
head shaker, isn't it?
Right.
Detective, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do and what you've done with the Air Force and with their U of I police. We appreciate you. Becky Lawher, our law enforcement official of the month for March.
Thank you very much.
State Farm Center announces folk rock band, the Avett Brothers, will perform at State Farm Center. I was saying Avett, and Greg said it's A as in have. So Avett Brothers, I want to be good about this. I don't know who they are, but I've listened to some of the music, and it rocks. It's kind of a folky thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't think the music will be too darn loud either. Anyway, the tickets go on sale Friday, March 9, this Friday, 10 a.m., statefarmcenter.com. 866-ILLINI-1, 866-ILLINI-1, and I'll give out tickets here in about 15 minutes. Stand by.
Okay.
8:33. Okay, thank you for your grace when speaking of smokers, Texter says.
That's right. People are seriously rude and mean about the habit in today's society. Most smokers use their designated break times and don't sneak out for extra time. Because they go outside is their choice. Non-smokers are just hypersensitive because they don't like smoking.
No, it's true. It's just like, ew. The smoker has been castigated to second-class citizenship. There's no doubt about it. And again, not a smoker, don't really like being around it, but I'm not hitting the person. They got a habit. They don't like it probably.
Some just want to smoke. Good for you. I mean, but yikes. I mean, we pound on the smoke.
I just feel bad for those on the University of Illinois campus when they decided to go smoke free.
How'd they do that?
Right.
Because there's no way that's happening. There's no way. They're smoking.
But I hardly ever, at least anymore, maybe when at first they kicked in, that, maybe there were clusters of people by the dumpster or something.
Yeah, so. I don't know. It's 217 texter. Smoking is a choice. It is. So, again, it's a free country. If you want to smoke, I don't think it's good for you, but you've heard that a few times, I think. But well, we've hit the smoker, and it's awful to be hooked on something like that and to have to pay the money they're paying. I mean, that could be a bunch. Ladies and gentlemen, our friend Rachel Sutherland, Fox News ace at Sutherland Fox. Is that right? Sutherland Fox.
That is correct. Thank you.
Rachel, okay, so here's what I got on the Donald Trump tariff. It's a negotiating thing. You'll get a better NAFTA deal. What do you think?
I totally agree with you. As soon as he sent out that tweet yesterday morning suggesting that if Canada and Mexico agree to a good NAFTA deal for the U.S., that they wouldn't necessarily face these tariffs. In fact, Canada would be, I think, the worst hit of all because they're our largest steel importer. A 25% tariff would be devastating. And in fact, the Canadian Prime Minister called the president yesterday to talk about this and to say that all this tariff talk is not actually helping the negotiations. But I think, this is what we're seeing is businessman Trump, art of the deal Trump here. And I don't know exactly what the outcome will be, but I agree with you that this is a negotiation tactic.
Okay. And I know that it's kind of like the gun thing. When something on guns comes up, everybody goes buys all the bullets and the guns. And I think that's what happened with steel. I'm told that from a steel guy that, boy, they're short on stuff because everyone's freaking out. So they're buying and the prices are going crazy up and down.
Right. I think the steel industry may be the only industry that's happy right now about the idea of tariffs. And, the unions are okay with it. But you look at some of the, well, for lack of a better term, the one percenters, they don't like it at all. House Speaker Paul Ryan has asked the president to reconsider. He's concerned about a trade war. There has been some volatility in the market, but that will probably straighten out. But, yeah, these concerns about sparking a trade war, I mean, that's a real concern. And the idea, though, that this was to upset China, not so much. I mean, the president may irritate them. The president may have done it to irritate them, but they really won't be impacted as greatly.
I'd like us to make some steel, but it's going to take time to ramp it up, and I would think the prices would go up, wouldn't they?
Well, perhaps, but it's hard to predict the outcome of something like tariffs. I mean, I don't know the last time we've seen something like this.
Yeah.
And again, this goes back to the president wanting to twist the arms of Canada and Mexico. He was saying not only does he want a better deal in NAFTA? He wants Mexico to stop the flow of drugs over the border. He wants Canada to be better to our farmers. And this really isn't that big of a surprise. I mean, Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross is making the rounds in the Sunday shows, saying he didn't know why people were surprised about tariffs because the president campaigned on these very issues.
Yeah. What's unique for me is that this president seems to circle back around to what he said, and I'm not used to that. I mean, he says, this is what I said, this is what I'm going to do, and that's what a business guy does. They are definitely focused on goals and what they said and try and complete things, and politicians generally don't circle back around like this guy.
Sometimes politicians seem to wander off into the weeds, that much I agree with. They get on the hill, and then they get distracted by everything that goes on. At this point, though, it seems like Republicans are pretty much unified in their opposition to tariffs. And by the way, the president has not finalized that yet. So that, again, leads me back to our original point here is that this is to lean on Canada and Mexico.
Yeah. You're the best. Rachel, appreciate you at Sutherland Fox. Thank you as always.
Well, Bill,
ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer next.
Hi, I'm Habib, and this is your Motivational Minute. If you ask 100 people to finish this statement, sometimes you win. Most will finish it this way. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We are used to either winning or losing, no in between. John Maxwell wrote a book titled Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. John encourages us to look at losing in a different way, as an opportunity for learning. We actually learn a lot more from losing than we learn from succeeding. We ought to simply adjust our outlook towards our failures by viewing them as gained experiences and opportunities for learning. The difference is subtle, but that adjustment will help us experience wonderful success. It's all perspective. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Let the learning begin. I'm Habib, and this was your Motivational Minute. For more motivation, go to HabibHabib.com.
When water rushes in, keep the damage out by calling the cleanup team that's faster to any other size disaster. Serve Pro at 217-355-0077. That's where you'll find the specialist with the experience, equipment, and training to help make sure your property is dry the first time. So when water damage strikes your home or business, strike back by calling the cleanup team the insurance industry has trusted for more than 40 years. 217-355-0077. On the web at Serve Pro of Champaign. Like it never even happened. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals. A nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, he will be in the University of Illinois Hall of Fame. He is Darren Fletcher, 13 years, a major leaguer. How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you, Stevie? Good to talk to you, bud.
Well, nice to talk to you. I tell people I was in Lamaze class, and the fourth and last session, I'm sitting next to this guy who has legs like a sequoia, and I'm going, what the heck? It's Darren Fletcher, man. You're about ready to have Casey. I'm about ready to have Nathaniel, and I didn't even know who you were till the end, and there you were, Mr. Dad, and then Casey, and then what's Casey doing? Is he playing baseball at all?
He's helping out, Dan Hartlib at Illinois here.
Awesome.
So, yeah, he's the volunteer assistant.
He could hit, man. He really had, I thought, had a nice career at Illinois. He really did.
He sure did.
And then I met your daughter, middle daughter, Presley. She's a U of I cheerleader, nice young lady. And the Fletchers have been a good part of Central Illinois for a long time. So, Darren, Hall of Fame Illinois, what does it mean to you?
Well, I asked Josh, and I know what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean 50% off at the concession stand.
Darn it!
Which I thought maybe I might be able to work a discount for food and beverage. But
man, show me the love. Come on.
Nah, it means a lot. It's a big honor, and a couple of years ago, I had heard whisperings that they're trying to do this Hall of Fame thing, and I think it's been cool. It's been cool for the university. Last year, a lot of big names going in, and Dick Butkus this year with Lou Henson going in. I'm looking forward to seeing Lou. Lou Henson was one of my favorites as a kid growing up. I just loved Lou, and his basketball teams, just loved his whole act on the sidelines. So I think he's doing okay, and we got a big, there's like a little gala deal coming up in Chicago in the summertime. So it'd be good to see some of these people I haven't seen in a long time.
Darren, do you know how long 13 years in Major League Baseball is? Nobody does that. I mean, you're lucky to make a year. 13? How'd you do that?
I don't know. I just take one day at a time, they say. We used to say in baseball, how you doing? Well, I'm day to day. I'm not on the table list. I'm just day to day, trying to get through the day. You don't really peer into the future too much when you're in baseball. You just take advantage of that day. I remember years. I couldn't even tell you what series we had coming up on the weekends. I just knew that it's Tuesday and we're playing the Red Sox, and I have no idea where I'm going to be Friday.
Really?
But we just got to lock in and try to win this particular game, and then see what happens the next day. It's success is a very temporal thing. As soon as you let your guard down, it's all gone. So
amazing. But you had that perspective. How did you have that perspective, knowing that every day was a gift in the big leagues?
By the fact of a lot of failures, I guess. When you want something bad and you keep fighting and fighting for it, I guess you really appreciate it. So it's something I always thought about when I was a boy. I wanted to perform at the highest level, and the highest level of what I really liked was baseball. I wanted to play in the major leagues. That's the highest level. That's where all the best players in the world play. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to do it, but it wasn't easy. You know, I don't know if I had to do it all over again. I don't know if I could do it. A lot of fight, a lot of tears, a lot of sleepless nights. But you just keep pushing. You know,
wow,
keep pushing, and I could hit.
Well, but you were, you know, from Oakwood. From Oakwood, Illinois. People had to be telling you can't do that. I mean, you had a lot of people telling you what you couldn't do.
No, like they. You know, a small town kid and all that, and he doesn't play nobody at Oakwood, and but I went to U of I, and honestly, it was, I got an opportunity. That's what I appreciate of the University of Illinois is they gave me the opportunity, and it was tough for me to find opportunities out of high school because I was that small town kid that played in a little conference for Vermilion County sometimes against teams that had a hard time even fielding 9 players.
Yep.
Illinois gave me an opportunity. Tom Deeden, the head coach, and Illinois said, you know what, we're going to offer you a little scholarship. Why don't you come over here and see what you can do? And they gave me a shot, and that's what I really appreciate about that university over there. And I've always been a big fan of the Illini, and it's all of our family goes over there to school if they can. So my daughter is a cheerleader. Casey played baseball. I did. My father did play baseball over there. So
wow, that's a great tradition.
I've got a close relationship with the orange and blue.
Well,
sure.
I'm excited and thrilled for you, Darren. You deserve it, and it's a big deal. And I think it's so cool. You're in the second class. Before I let you know, okay, you're a fan like me, Mark Smith. Ouch. I said it looked bad for us to lose a Mr. Basketball that quickly. What's your take on Illinois basketball? You're an Illini guy.
Well, I watch a lot of games with Presley being over there cheerleading. I mean, there's no question who's in charge over there.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
It's Underwood is in charge.
Yeah.
So it's his program. So if you're not fitting the mold, he looks like he's a tough kid or a tough guy.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to. You're gonna be all in with him, and if you. I'm not sure what's going on, but I mean, I don't know if I could butt heads with him.
No,
it's his program, so
do that. Yeah.
He's got an idea of what direction he wants to go, and he's gonna bring in some kids. I don't know much about Mark Smith or but I do know that I watched the team play towards the end, and I thought they played real hard.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't win many games,
right?
But they played really, really hard, and I thought that was a kind of a change from the beginning.
Yep. Hall of Famer, HOF is what you do now when you sign autographs, Darren. HOF, baby! Come on.
And our baseball team's looking real good this year.
5 or 6 in a row, I think now. They've got it going on a little bit. Must be Casey Fletcher's influence. Pretty sure it is.
There you go.
Anyway, Danny had a good hire there.
They did. Yep. They're doing good. They had a good trip in Minnesota, and they played some tough teams from out west, and they beat them. So
UCLA.
See how they do. Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, congratulations, Darren. Real excited.
All right.
Thank you. Darren Fletcher, Hall of Famer, University of Illinois. Good guy.
And to stay on that vein, Illinois baseball debuted at number 25 in the Collegiate Baseball newspaper.
Well, good for them.
First time since 2015.
We have met some baseball players and really like them. Nice bunch of guys. 8:48.
Hey, it's D Brown, reminding all my fellow Salad Meister fans that they have their own app for pickup and delivery. I use the app to skip the line so I can prepay and be out in seconds. Download the app today.
Salad Meister now open in Champaign. Stop by today for a fresh salad or wrap. Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
A few years ago, my wife and I went shopping for amazing quality luxury bedding we could actually afford. And what did we find? Nothing. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen. Missy and I started Bull & Branch because we want you to be able to afford the best bedding in the world. By cutting out the middlemen and only selling online at bullandbranch.com, our award-winning sheets cost less than half of designer brands and are twice the quality. Every set is crafted from 100% organic cotton. They get softer and softer over time. That's why we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and even 3 U.S. presidents have Boll & Branch sheets. There's no risk. Try them for 30 nights. If you don't love them, send them back for a full refund. Go to bollandbranch.com today for $50 off your first set of sheets, plus free shipping when you use promo code SLEEP. That's $50 off, plus free shipping right now at bollandbranch.com. Promo code SLEEP. bollandbranch.com, spelled B-O-L-L, and branch.com. Promo code SLEEP.
Here we go. Quick check sports headlines, ESPN 93.5.
Also, since we were talking baseball, I know Chicago Cubs' new look bullpen, the biggest key to success might be the return of Justin Wilson. He's starting to trend now on how he's looking in spring training. So, good stuff for the Cubs. Again, US 105.9. Looking forward to the season. Everybody's opening day is March 29th. Yeah. It seems like it's going to be early, but looks like the teams are going to be ready. You'll hear the action on ESPN 93.5 for the St. Louis Cardinals. Mark Smith leaving. The Illini basketball program is still trending now as folks are talking about that around the water cooler today. Pacers over Milwaukee in basketball. 92-89 was the final. Boston over the Bulls, 105-89. Our Illini football program, an anonymous $1 million donation.
Yeah, spring ball, too. Here we go. Going to give you a chance to win these State Farm Center tickets to the Avett Brothers. Stand by. Let's check your weather.
We're expecting some more clouds as the day progresses and maybe a 50% chance of showers. 27 are low today, but up to 45. Nice sunshine now. Clouds expected tomorrow, high 34, low 21. Partly cloudy and windy on Thursday with a high 37, low 21, up to 42 as you wrap up the week Friday with some clouds. Temperatures currently at 36, ESPN 93.5.
Avett Brothers coming, State Farm Center, Thursday, September 27. But you can buy tickets beginning this Friday, March 9, 10 a.m. StateFarmCenter.com, 866-Illini-1, or the Illinois ticket office at the State Farm Center. Text in 359-2255. The 10th texter to just text in and say, hi, you win Avett Brother tickets. Good luck to you. 10th texter right now. Text in, hi.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Dan Le Batard and Stu Gatz.
How good must it feel to Kobe Bryant? Seriously on this. Yeah, I'll just walk into your world with a little something I wrote in traffic. And not only am I better than all of you at this, first try, I win. Also, all the writers who covered me in my career, you don't have one of these. I wrote a poem. I burped out a little poem. Boom, give me the golden statue.
Kobe Bryant had the same career. Same exact achievements with the same players and coaches and everything, but he did it playing for the Seattle Supersonics and not the Los Angeles
Lakers.
Lakers.
A good question. Put that on the poll.
Does
Kobe have an Oscar today if he had been a king? A Sacramento King? Or what's a funnier, or a Wizard? Which team do you want to do it with?
This could potentially be very bad for Hollywood because we know what happens when Kobe starts off 1 for 1.
When a player doesn't like a contract, what do? They hold out? They hold out for a better deal. If only you could do that with your wireless plan, right? Well, with the Bring Your Own Phone plan from Straight Talk Wireless, you can get a much better deal. Keep your phone, your number, even your same network for a lot less than you're paying now, without the contract or the holdout.
Get the Ultimate Unlimited plan for just $55 a month on America's largest, most dependable 4G LTE networks. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. Video typically streams at DVD quality. Refer to the latest terms and conditions of service at straighttalk.com.
Napa know-how. Hey, I'm Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 Napa Chevy. Here to tell you that when you spend $25 at Napa this month, you'll get a free number 9 Napa racing cap. So whether you're a fan of drivers with fast cars or just a fan of keeping the sun out of your eyes, you'll get a free number 9 racing cap just for spending $25 at Napa. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 3/31/18.
The Champaign County Forest Preserve District offers lots of great winter fun. Their education programs will take you on a hike under a full moon, teach you about owls, how to make maple syrup, and tips to create your own rain garden. Outside Upper sledding, cross-country skiing, trail hikes, and ice fishing. If you're a golf nut, the simulators at Lake of the Woods can keep your swing warm this winter. Go to ccfpd.org to see what all the Champaign County Forest Preserve District has to offer for you to get closer to nature this winter. Go to ccfpd.org.
If you've fallen behind on your taxes, you know that the IRS is already coming for their money, and they'll get it too by garnishing your wages or maybe even taking your home or business. They call it enforced compliance, and you'd better watch out because the penalties and interest compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. You need to call the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Solving tax issues is all they do. One call to Optima starts the process to stop the demand letters and stop aggressive collection actions. They get to work immediately, fighting to protect your assets and helping you put your tax problems behind you. The IRS writes off millions every year, and Optima knows all the ins and outs of the IRS's tax assistance programs that could save you thousands. So what are you waiting for? Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-467-2766. 800-467-2766. 800-467-2766.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Oh, come on. How do you say it? Somebody just texted in and said it's Avett Brothers. We went through that.
Right.
Somebody texted and it's Avett Brothers. I don't know.
Avett.
They're coming to the State Farm Center. And who won the tickets?
Shane Rodham from Champaign.
Way to go, Shane.
There ain't nobody here.
These brothers are really good. Tomorrow I'll say it however it's supposed to be said somehow. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
I'm Stevie J. Thanks for listening.
If you're looking for truth and proof, you'll find it.
Meet you tomorrow. Brett Barron's Channel 3 guest hosting next with Austin.
You got to search.
Have a great Tuesday.
Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, has just received a new brand of hats at their stores and online. Game Day wants you to be a part of the Live Lucky movement with 3 new styles of Black Clover Live Lucky caps available for purchase at Game Day Spirit on 6th and Green and Neal and Kirby, or order them online at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit also has a new shipment in of 47 brand, Top of the World, and Nike hats. So wherever you go for spring break, represent the University of Illinois with a fresh flat bill, visor, or SoCal style hat. And check out the new striped Clover t-shirt design and more. Only at Game Day Spirit. Go Illini.
Ireland. Is there another place like it on earth? Join Larry Canfor for Ireland Off the Beaten Path this August 31st through September 9th. We'll leave from Champaign on a motor coach to Chicago, fly to Dublin, and then the guided adventure begins. Join Larry Canfor for a preview of this trip. Larry Canfor Gallery, March 7th at 4:30. For complete details on Larry Canfor, Ireland Off the Beaten Path, go to ESPMCU.com.
DP Dough is the original Calzone company, and they cater all types and sizes of events, from office orders to private parties to entire visiting football teams. Everyone will be sure to enjoy something different than the same old sandwiches or pizza. DP Dough also delivers to nearly all of Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy until late at night. So give them a call or order online when you're hungry and no one else is delivering. With over 1 million calzones served since opening in 2006, DP Dough is sure to satisfy and fill you up. DP Dough, the original Calzone company.
When servicing your vehicle, Midas covers you with ASC certified technicians installing the right parts at a competitive price. Owner and manager Dave Peters' crew has the skill to save you time and money on repairs. Quality services standard at your Urbana Midas store, ensuring your satisfaction. Get an oil change, engine and transmission work, brake service, tires and alignment, batteries, and of course, mufflers and exhaust. See Midas for manufacturer's scheduled maintenance for all makes. Service? It's spelled MIDAS. They're on West University, Urbana.
Together, we can turn a stairwell into an ER at a moment's notice. Together, we can turn a rescue ship for refugees into a maternity ward. Together, we can vaccinate 710,000 people in just 11 days. Together, we are Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders goes where others don't to provide life-saving medical care. Learn more at doctorswithoutborders.org.
Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, has just received a new brand of hats at their stores and online. Game Day wants you to be a part of the Live Lucky movement with 3 new styles of Black Clover Live Lucky caps available for purchase at Game Day Spirit on 6th and Green and Neal and Kirby, or order them online at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit also has a new shipment in of 47 brand, Top of the World, and Nike hats. So wherever you go for spring break, represent the University of Illinois with a fresh flat bill, visor, or SoCal style hat. And check out the new striped Clover t-shirt t-shirt design, and more. Only at Game Day Spirit. Go Illini.
I'm former County Clerk Mark Sheldon. I never worked a day in the clerk's office before I was appointed. Over 14 years, we moved from hanging chads to a modernized election system. My experience outside the office made my success inside the office possible. I know that John Rector will lead the clerk's office to the same success. He has plans to secure voter privacy, prevent voting fraud, and engage and educate more voters. I encourage you to vote for an experienced leader in John Rector.
I'm John Rector. For my entire life, I've served in leadership roles in business and volunteer groups as I've tried to give back to the Champaign County community. I've done everything from coaching grade school kids, being a Rotary president, and now serving on the county board. I'm running to lead the county clerk's office. Working with the experienced staff already in place, we can protect the integrity of our election process and protect your personal data. Vote for me, John Rector, in the Republican primary election.
Paid for by Citizens for Rector.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. At Provident, our mission is to help people plan for and get through some of life's toughest challenges. We provide each of our clients with individualized strategies, premier service, and independent thinking to help them achieve their financial goals. Contact us today at 3017 Village Office Place in Champaign or call 217-366-3456 or find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
When